Dinner was pot roast and potatoes, comfort food that Maya's mother said was her daughter's favorite meal. We sat around a small dining table with an empty chair that nobody mentioned but everyone noticed. Maya's father asked my boyfriend about his job, about our house, about whether he was taking care of himself. My boyfriend answered honestly but kept everything brief, like he felt guilty for having a life to report on when Maya didn't. I sensed the weight of survivor's guilt in every word he spoke, the way he downplayed his own happiness as if joy was something he didn't deserve. Maya's mother turned her attention to me and asked how we met, what I did for work, the normal getting to know you questions that felt completely surreal given where we were and why. I answered carefully, aware that I was evaluated not just as his girlfriend, but as someone he trusted enough to bring into this sacred annual ritual they all shared. I told them about my job, about our house, about how patient and kind he'd been with me even when I didn't deserve it. Maya's mother nodded along, and I could see her mentally checking boxes, deciding if I was good enough for the man who visited her daughter's grave every year. After dinner, Maya's father pulled out a bottle of whiskey and 2 glasses, gesturing for my boyfriend to follow him to the back porch. Through the kitchen window, I watched them sit in lawn chairs, their heads bent close together as they talked in voices too low for me to hear. 2 men bound by combat and loss, sharing something I'd never fully understand, no matter how many articles I read about military trauma or survivor's guilt. Their conversation looked heavy and important, the kind of talk that only happens between people who've seen the same darkness. Maya's mother and I cleaned up the kitchen together, loading the dishwasher and wiping down counters in comfortable silence. Then she said she was glad he finally brought someone with him, because she worried about him making this trip alone every year. Her kindness, despite her own devastating loss, made me feel physically sick about my accusations and suspicions, about how I'd turned his grief into evidence of betrayal. I apologized again for intruding on their family tradition, and she waved it off, saying that anyone he cared about enough to bring here was welcome in their home.